as was it 12 years or to whoever 30 something years. All of these stories that he was 30 years and he was ministering. Then they don't know the rest of the story where he went, from his childhood to that age. They said he traveled to India and he was there. They've got stories about him, things that he was there, and it could be, it could be true too. Muslims also have stories about him, So everybody's coming up with something else because they all, when they read these things, they can challenge it. They have some reason to know that the Bible has not got the whole thing. The Bible also is challenging Torah. He also, in so many ways, thinking that they have got the true interpretation. And to me, all of these people are behaving as if God hasn't got mouth to talk himself. As if the same God they are pursuing, whether they don't know or normally don't get what they're doing, that's what it reflects to me. As a person who they are supposed to convert. This is what is happening to me now. Because I went out, lucky enough to go out to read or look at all of them. I look at what is happening, what they do, what people in that groups are doing. I ask myself, hey, tell me, can God speak for himself? If he's so interested and serious of getting things right with his creation, do you think he will leave such a serious business to the hands of a fellow man? That you have come up struggling to make sure that the message reach out to people, do interpretations and saying that my interpretation is more, I'm more explaining God to you. I'm telling you directly what God said. Why can't God speak himself to tell me what he'd really want to say? Would he give it to you to say? No, because he can clearly speak to me. It's such a serious business. He will not let a man handle, because a man obviously is mishandling the thing. We are obviously mishandling it. So why would he keep letting you mishandle it? And a man's life is just 100 or so years, and when that pass and gone, the chance of that life that God wanted to reach did not reach, and God has sat back, watch, whilst you, in your misinterpretations and all that, was deluding the person, and he passed on, and the message never reached out to him. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe whatever is happening to all these books and all doesn't matter. A man lives, he goes through all this, he dies, he ends up in God's hands anyway. So it doesn't matter. So God wouldn't care about intervening or anything. Or maybe God actually made it that way. He wants us to confuse. Just as the Bible reads, some places he brings confusion, some places he hardened people's heart and made it suffer. Maybe Jehovah is doing that. It's not maybe. Jehovah is doing that according to the book. He did that to the Jews. He can do that to anybody. Unless that he cannot go into the territory of the Islamic people there, because they believe in Allah. They believe in Allah, and Allah is the one protecting them. So Jehovah can't go into unless Allah neglect the Islamic people and leave them, and then Jehovah can come and torment them. Or Jehovah leaves the Christians, then the Islamic people Allah can go and torment the Christian, because your God or your protector is not there. So now I can come in and torture you. If you go through these books and such things come out, and you begin to think and see things in a good and perspectively put them together, you sort of now begin to embrace life as it's meant to. You sort of respect life as it's meant to. You respect yourself. You respect others. In that one, that's what I should. You get the sense of knowing that it is necessary. Because you will earn respect, and others will also earn their respect from you. Some things will completely be eradicated. You won't be encouraging certain things. Some things are useless. That's if it's in our hands to reform our lives, and not leaving it in the hands of a mysterious God who will come, who we have not known or understood very clearly that he will come and then make things better. And then we have no definite answer to when he will come or when that will happen. That's vain and like living pie in the sky thing. You're hoping that things like that will happen, and you have no sense of assurance. So what is the way? So just a complete waste of time. Others have taken upon themselves to build their own life, to build their own history, to make sure that the prophecies are carried out, are happening. It says up to us to do it, and they're doing it themselves. If it means taking life, they do it. If it means whatever to fulfill scriptures. Those are the fanatics, as we say. For whatever inspired them, it's all in the book. It's all in the book. So we keep reading on 10 Commandments, and you see the laws here. And we'll go on and you see where the laws also, books advises that disregards these laws from God, from prophets. You will see, we will come across all that. In going through all the last bit of the 10 Commandments, 17, we go to 18, it says, now all the people witnessed the thunderings, the lightning flashes, the sound of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. And they said to Moses, you speak with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. Now they are living in fear of God. Why would they die? Whoever said it, or why the people will say that, I don't know. They were not really as desperate as we are today. Maybe their desperations will have limitations. But if they were truly desperate, they will not entrust such honest words coming from the true living God in the hands of a man and say, you say that to us. He goes to say it here and he come and he says something different. That is why he even ended up, because of lack of understanding, he ended up not being able to go to Canaan. Now I'm sure God knows all things, so Jehovah knew that he will not, Moses will not be able to fulfill the things and be honest and walk with him smoothly, and he will end up not being able to go to Canaan. Yet he was with him. He was with Moses all throughout, isn't it? Just knowing very well in the back of his head that, hey, this guy will not go to Canaan. He waited, find ways to get him into the place where he can accuse him of something and say, oh, you can't go. Just as Pharaoh. Put Pharaoh in a situation where Pharaoh's heart was very hardened, so that he would end up accusing him and say, hey, you. So looking at it, it's not Pharaoh who was stubborn. It's not Pharaoh, who is stubborn. It's not me who is stubborn. If I am in the Christian circle, that's what I'm supposed to think. But they are not thinking that way. Something is not allowing you to think that way when you are in that situation. Looking at it carefully, a man's sin, a man's wrongdoing is not from a man. But it is the intentions of God that you sin, that you do wrong things. If you read what the Bible reveals to you in terms of his abilities and how he will put you in a situation that he will be able to punish you, he will lead you astray. He will lead you into a situation where he can punish you. He will lead you in a situation where you will sin. That's why he put the laws there. Was the laws necessary? Maybe never. No. He made me in such a situation that I will always commit. So we are talking not in the terms of the general God that I am trying to point out here. In the sense of Jehovah. Just a sect group which is called Christianity of today, not of that time. Of today. So of today's, they don't have their own teachings. They are using the old teachings of that religion, of whatever it was there at that time, and transforming it to call Christianity today. Even in the historical sense, it tells that Christian has changed its form twice. There was another Christianity at that time which broke down, and the pattern did not follow. To some point, this new Christian group rose up, coming up with what? The Bible. After getting all those fragments from the Black Sea, all those, and put it together and forming this. Because if you see what we have here as being from Jehovah, the Jehovah, if it is not the text or the mistakes in the presentation, or the writings were conjured but somehow not coming in the right way, you can see clearly that God himself put people into that situation. In the book we've read earlier on, he made confusion come on to people because they were not doing what he would want them to do, or they fell into a different thing. And so how did they fall into that state? God is all knowing. He knew they would fall